Greetings from Tucson, Arizona. My name is Adela Schlager and I'm the director of the School of Government and Public Policy at the University of Arizona. I received my PhD in political science in 1990 from Indiana University, where I had worked with Lynn Ostrom in the workshop for 4 years. And this is my brief take on what it was like at the workshop when Governing the Commons was written. The first thing that you need to realize about the workshop was what a dynamic and exciting place it was. Vincent and Lynn were teaching their PhD seminars, and it wasn't just students involved in those seminars, but it was all of the visiting scholars from around the world who would also participate and engage in discussions and debates. And there were the Monday colloquia, in which scholars would be invited in to present the research that they were working on. And so we had Bob Netting, who worked on the Swiss Alps, and we had Fikret Urkies, who worked on coastal fisheries, and their work appeared in Governing the Commons. So within this dynamic organization, there was this really large and complex research project on common pool resources, and it had a lot of different moving parts. The graduate students, me and Yan Tang and Bill Bloomquist, were working on developing coding forms and coding case studies on fisheries and irrigation systems and groundwater systems. And Julie England was supporting us with a database. And Lynn worked with two fabulous economists, Roy Gardner, a game theorist, and Jimmy Walker, an experimentalist. And they were doing formal modeling of CPR settings and working on the CPR experiments. And then all of us were working together to try to figure out and develop a theory of common pool resources to try to explain why would resource users engage in collective action to sustainably govern their resources. It was an exciting and dynamic time. So this is the context in which Governing the Commons was written. Now, Governing the Commons is best known for Chapter 3 and the design principles, but at the time, what was really driving us and what Lynn was really engaged in was the first 2 chapters, the theory chapters, trying to explain a theory of collective action in relation to common pool resources. So Governing the Commons was published in 1990. 4 years later, Rules, Games, and Common Pool Resources was published. And it laid out the full research program. You can think of it as the sequel to Governing the Commons. And I would encourage you to pick up both volumes and read both of them. Governing the Commons was and is a critically important volume. It lays out an initial theory of CPRs and self-governance of CPRs, but it also, importantly, was the first fruits of a large-scale, important research program that produced so much and that continues to motivate multiple research programs. At the time, we really didn't know that Governing the Commons was going to be as important as it was. We just worked hard, we had fun, and we had an amazing leader, Lynn, who mentored us and guided us through it. And to this day, I still miss her.